Okay.
What is open AI?
Yeah, okay.
Okay, that's even a very confusing question because it started as a research nonprofit to just research AGI, right? Artificial general intelligence, to research and to put money behind, to put the best minds behind, how could we achieve and what's needed to achieve, coexisting in society with AI, which is basically what AGI means, right? Having it be as smart as humans and coexisting with it.
Okay.
It started as a research organization. One of their first research projects was building a large language model called GPT-2, then evolved to GPT-3. Is now at GPT-4. It was just research. It was just a large language model that showed results. And then once it start to show results and commercial viability, then now they've expanded to the nonprofit and the for-profit arm that commercializes their research.
Hold on.
yeah.
Wow. Okay, wait. So Chat GPT is under OpenAI.
Correct.
And
Okay.
we're currently on 4.
So ChatGPT was just one of these several research projects.
That's
They
what
were
I was trying to get to.
let's make one that's like a chatbot.
There we
right?
go.
There was another one called Dolly that was an image generator.
Right.
There was another one called Jukebox that was a music generator. And there was all these
right.
just different research teams working on these different things. So GPT-3, I could build something in GPT-3 and never touch ChatGPT because ChatGPT is the product-facing version of the core of GPT now 4. So if I want to build an app, I would use GPT-4 at its core, not use ChatGPT. But then when they released ChatGPT, it was like a midnight release. No one knew it was coming out. They were like, hey, let's just make this one research project public. And it went viral. And we know what happens when things go viral.
Yeah.
It's we got to dedicate more team resources to it, dedicate more GPUs to the service, because now we have 100 million people using this one thing that we thought would maybe be 10,000 people.
So we're currently on 4.
Yes.
You mentioned that GPT-2 was deemed too dangerous for the public.
Ooh.
So
What was in it?
made
now,
it so?
it's the same stuff that's in these, but the safety protocols weren't there yet. So we had to catch up from how to protect and guardrail and to set up the safety measures around any number GPT. And back then in the early days, it was just it's just too early to release this to everybody because we don't have the protocols yet to really safeguard this.
And the safety measure to be don't take over our world kind of thing?
Yeah, and just having a way to reinforce the outputs with what you want it to say versus what you don't want it to say.
Okay.
Making sure that you're protecting against ways that you don't want it to be used, right? So that's another thing. You can't just do not safe for work stuff on any GPT product because they put those safeguards in place. Now, you can go online and use a open source black market language model and ask it to do whatever you want, right? So that's the other part of this is that you have the things that are regulated and are safeguarded, and then you have clones of those that are reverse engineered from what the internet has learned on how these things work, and then they make their own that you could do anything with.
Is there an establishment that mandates how to safeguard, or just each company is kind of deciding what's ethical on their own?
No, not yet. The government is trying to catch up, and it's not there yet.
Whew.
So it's still the Wild Wild West.
Okay, wait. So when we say AI, artificial intelligence, can you simplify what that means for somebody who's
Sure.
just they hear it in the news
Yeah.
and they're actually terrified because the common conversation around it is going to take all of our jobs. So I want to peel it back a little bit. What is AI and how does this function?
So artificial intelligence is such a broad term, and
Right.
it's broad stroked a lot across a lot of different types of technology. So you have deep learning, machine learning, AI, generative AI, GANs, which are general adversarial networks. Everyone just calls everything AI nowadays. And even 3D technology, like how we play video games, they call that AI.
Got it.
If I make an avatar of you, they're going to call that AI. It's
Gotcha.
not AI, it's just 3D, design. So what we see with ChatGPT is technically generative AI, powered by a large language model. And that's the subcategory of that.
What is language? What is that? You said something
Language
Large
model.
language
yeah.
model?
Yeah. What is that?
So that is where, and please help me not get too nerdy for your
No, we
audience.
want,
So I want to
yeah.
I want to break it down, and I pride myself on just
Yeah.
just busting it down in a way that everyone can understand. So if I say to the machine, roses are, right? This machine is just going to try and predict what I want is my next word, right? So you could say roses are, Then there's a list. Roses are red. Roses are flowers. Roses are romantic. Depending on my instructions, it's then going to learn which next word to pick.
Got it.
It's a predictive language model, right? It's just predicting the next word. And it's gotten so advanced. We've gotten so advanced on how to leverage that technology.
Right.
That it's learning to do better things, more sophisticated and more advanced than just roses are red.
I can see why you're a great teacher. Because I actually understood that, believe it or not. I did. So
then all the information that it is predicting is based on research that's been aggregated from the internet that we're feeding it?
Correct. Research, but then you get what's called a context window to give your own context on what you want it to do. And that's where prompt engineering comes in.
Right.
Right. So now prompt engineering, I'm a prompt engineer. I might be one of the first prompt engineers of color, the first like Latino prompt engineer. Like that's still to be seen. But just when I got in and what that term was at that time, you know, I feel like, oh snap, I got something to like represent now to back home, you know, of like what it means to be a prompt engineer. But it's basically just breaking it down. So when I speak to a lot of schools and like conferences for like educators, superintendents. I'm like, teachers in the audience, you are the best prompt engineers I know because you teach young people every day.
Right.
You say, okay, this is a new concept. We're going to do it together. Yeah. Here's some examples. Right. We're going to do it shared. I'm going to see some examples of you doing it. And then I'm going to give you feedback on what you did right, what you did wrong. And then I'm going to let you do it again on your own. That's exactly how you train in AI.
Right.
Exactly how you prompt engineer.